So the changes, hours of service reform, are really a culmination of data collection from the FMCSA along with many industry associations throughout the many years regarding fatigue and how fatigue affects commercial motor vehicle drivers. So really that's a culmination of all of that data being quantified, being commented on, allowing people to have their input on whether they feel it would be an adverse condition or an adversely affecting change versus a good change. And really all of that has culminated to the current changes that are here today. So these changes affect our customers really in 4 different ways, right? The first one is the regulatory changes in adverse conditions, right? So one of the changes there is to allow the users to be able to be on duty for 16 hours as opposed to the current 14. And the idea behind that, again, is to allow for that driver to be able to get to their destination safely or to return back home safely in the event of an adverse condition. The second one has to do with a 30-minute rest break, and that has 2 components to it. The 30-minute rest break can now be achieved and qualified by being on duty rather than being off duty or in a sleeper berth, so they can continue working that way, effectively qualify and rest that way. The second component to that is that rest needs to be taken within the first 8 hours of actually driving, rather than being at work or on duty. The third one has to do with short haul exemption. And the short haul exemption is a change to the current limitation of 12 hours is now being increased to 14 to, again, allow the driver more autonomy to be able to complete their work and still be considered a local driver. And the second component of that is the increase of the 100-mile air limit to 150 air mile limit. And the fourth one has to do with the split sleeper berth. The split sleeper berth change has to do with a new configuration of rest in either 7 hours and 3 hours as a combination to be able to contribute to a total of 10 hours. And that's still in addition to the current configuration of 8 and 2. So it allows, again, the driver more autonomy to be able to take their rest periods in the timeframes they see fit, so they can A, be rested, and B, be able to get the content or the freight to their end delivery point in an efficient and safe manner. So Teletrac Navman has kept their finger on the pulse of regulatory updates as they come, because they change, and they change frequently. So we've taken the feedback that we've gotten from the FMCSA along with other industry associations that we currently keep in touch with to be abreast of changes as they happen. We knew that the rule changes were actually going to be implemented, and that they made the final rule. We allocated resources within our research and development department to make sure that we had resources to A, implement the changes, B, test them thoroughly, and C, be able to have them ready to be deployed to our customer base before the actual time frame is here. So really at the end of the day, the user should see no ill effects when that change actually happens, and they can be ensured that once that date hits and everything going forward, that they will be compliant and be able to meet the new regs with the new hours of service reform changes.